What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am, of course, your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That's the Freddie Mercury puppet. We are back with another incredible episode. It's what we do, kids, and we ain't about to change it now. Before we get to it, I'll address the proverbial elephant in the room. You, of course, are looking at these smoldering good looks, these luscious blonde rock star locks. I will confirm for you that, yes, you are looking at the one and only love child of one diamond, David Lee Roth. Now you know it's out in the open, and we can get down to brass tacks, which, as I said, is another amazing episode of Pod Scum. Super happy, excited to have today's guest on here. Before we get to it, I'll do my obligatory promotional spiel because you know my philosophy. If you have a podcast, you gotta pimp it. The pimp hand is feeling very strong today, so let's do this. Make sure to tap into Pod Scum on Facebook. Our handle, do not be confused, is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. 2 podcasts, 1 Facebook page. You'll get information on both of my shows on there. That's the handle, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. Same handle on Instagram. Check us out over there as well. Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. And of course, if you have your eyes feasted on me right now, you are in the right place. Facebook is great for promoting. Instagram is great for the little reels and snippets of these interviews. But if you want the full meat and potatoes, you want to watch and listen to the full conversations, this is where you need to be. So if you are here, please like, please subscribe, and most importantly, and this is an important step right here, don't overlook this. Make sure to find that notification bell in the upper regions of your screen and do something horrible to it. I know the kids like to say, smash it. I don't care what you do to it. Short of course, destroying your device. We don't want that because, you know, who wants that? We don't. So, within reason, just find that notification bell and make sure that it is pressed and pressed with vigor. And this will afford you the luxury of being in the loop and privy to when new content is dropping. And as you know, I drop something new to you guys every single week. Sometimes it's an episode. Sometimes it's multiple episodes. It really just depends on how productive our week has been, how many interviews we've been able to run down, yada, 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 etc. But you know me. I'm awful at sitting on content. I like to do it, and I like to get it out to you guys ASAP. Speaking of content, my guest is here, so we are going to get down to it. I'm excited, man. Let's get it in. Another great episode. Let's do it, man. There he is. How you doing, my man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm super happy to have you on here, man. Thank you for doing this, man. It's really an honor to meet you.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. I love the fact, man, that Cattle Decapitation is, and I don't know, maybe you could speak to this more because you are in the extreme metal world, but you guys are one of those rare acts that really have something to say through your music, and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the lyrics and all that are Travis. He's been doing it since day one, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, all that basically. I've always been very proud to be in a band that obviously has such a strong lyrical content and all that good stuff. So
yeah, it's admirable. Sure. It is. And so usually I start these things at the beginning because I find when I talk to musical artists that many, not all, but many of them have a common backstory where they grew up in musical households, maybe lots of records playing, maybe musically proficient parents. Was this the case for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say fairly artistic people is more of a conservative household, I'd say. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely music, but I wouldn't say like a musical family per se, or or a family that was pushing that.
Yeah.
As most people, I mean, I think most people kind of grow up in those environments anyway. Oh, you want to play music? That's cool. How about this other thing first?
Yeah.
So,
Have something to fall
but
back
they're
on.
yeah. Later on, they became very supportive, though. So no complaints, man. Yeah.
And so, what age do you get behind a drum kit? Was that the first choice of instrument? Was that the first one that was on your radar?
No. So my first choice was guitar, and then a buddy of mine was kind of like he was way older, my neighbor, and he was like, oh, okay, like he played guitar, and it was like, okay, it was like a classical guitar. Show me a couple chords, and it's like, now you got to get a guitar. And I was like, well, shit. I'm like, 12. How am I going to get that? And that didn't happen. So then, kind of fizzled away for just a second, and then it became drums. Drums became the obsession, um, and the rest is history, pretty much. So,
And so,
but it took a while. Took a while, to get a drum kit and all that stuff, and getting to play the actual drums was very difficult too. So.
And so you do make a good point, though. When someone gets into the arts or in any creative endeavor, oftentimes parents are not so psyched. You know what I mean? Did you have a lot of support, or were you getting those comments like, hey, have something to fall back on, or, this is a very long shot, you know what I mean, having success in this?
I mean, every parent should do that, if you ask me, especially if you're getting in at an early age. I mean, I was 13 when I was uh, fortunate enough to get a drum kit. And yeah, I mean, that was obviously the advice. But I think once they saw the level of like obsession or whatever, they're like, oh, okay, like this dude's like, obviously it's not just like, a hobby, he takes it real serious. But
Yeah.
my story's a little different just because like I grew up in another country and um literally kind of moved to the US as an opportunity came up to be with my mom, and I was like, all right, well, this is my shot. I was born here, but I was like, this is my shot to kind of go and pursue that, at
Yeah.
17, about to turn 18. Which obviously you're still a kid.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know at 17 or 18, you don't know shit.
No,
You
you didn't
really
know
don't.
shit for a very long time after that too.
Yeah, for a very it was a long time after 17 or 18. I felt like I still didn't really know shit.
Yeah, I still don't know shit.
I was gonna say, I'm still wondering if I know much now. And how do you make the foray? How do you make the leap? Because you mentioned being from a somewhat conservative household. How do you make the foray into extreme metal? And was that frowned upon?
I mean, for sure. At first, um, but you keep at it, and you're like, this is just who I am when I want,
Yeah,
and you just keep, I guess, standing your ground. I mean, I wasn't like a rebel or anything like that, but I was like, no, man, this is what I really am passionate about and what I love, and I mean, um, yeah, just like no rebellion involved. I was just stuck with it.
so you've been doing this for a while, and I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of drummers on here. Have you? Uh, Many of them have expressed or relayed to me that they've had to sometimes change the layout of their drums, change the height of their stool for various, because there's obviously a huge physicality to what you do, especially playing that type of music. Have you any type of injuries, impingements, pain? Have you ever had dealt with any health issues where you've had to change the way you approach the instrument?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every drummer will agree too that that happens throughout the course of your journey as a drummer,
Yeah,
especially the older you get, about how much you play. But it all depends. It all depends. I mean, obviously it's well recommended to try to work out a little bit or do some sort of exercise. I mean, I don't know. I know drummers that have never gone to the gym a day in their life and they're in great shape.
yeah,
Everybody's built
yeah.
differently.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it just depends. Mental health is like the biggest one in my opinion. Uh, for me at least, as far as like what affects me,
Yeah,
playing wise, that affects everything else. So
yeah,
if things are okay up here, then everything else usually just falls right into place. But as far as injuries and stuff like that, I've never had anything occur on tour. I have had to get surgery on tour before. I've been touring for a long time, so I definitely had things happen.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I had to get surgery once in Germany, like day 3 of a tour, like general surgery. I mean, it wasn't anything like life or death or anything, but like I had to do that, and I played the same night. Very hard for me to miss a date. I
yeah.
think I canceled one. There was only one time ever that I actually couldn't play because I was in my bunk. Like I was super sick. Like I don't know what I ate, but it was just the worst ever. I literally couldn't get out of my bunk. And it sucked because you don't want to be that guy, you know.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I'm like, hey, if I get up there, I'm probably gonna fall off the throne, like
Yeah.
fall
Yeah.
off the seat.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be well. We're gonna put on a horrible show. Like it's it's unfortunate, but is this what we want to show? Like, or just let me get better and so I can continue the rest of the tour kind of thing. So
So what happens in that instance, man? Does someone step in for you that night, or does that show just get postponed and made up? That's interesting.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, unless unless someone else on that tour is like knows the set. I mean,
Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
no. I mean, maybe back in nah. Like the only way I could think that could be possible is like if I don't know back in like when we because now we play with a click track and stuff, which is
Right.
essential, honestly. Helps keep everybody,
Yeah.
grounded. But maybe before then, there's a slight possibility, but no, definitely not. So that's why it sucks. That's why you gotta make sure that you can carry yourself on the road. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
what is your relationship like with touring? Because I know touring is a big part of what you guys do. But I imagine when you've been doing it for a long time, and I'm not a musician myself, but certainly there's a glamorous side, getting to see the world, getting to see all kinds of cool stuff. But it must be tough at times, though, to tear yourself away from your creature comforts and the familiarity of home, though, man. What's your relationship like with touring? Where do you stand on it?
personally, I love it, man. It's I really really love all of it. Obviously, it's very taxing in every part of your life.
Yeah.
Obviously, personal relationships, jobs, everything. Like everything has revolved in my life around being able to do that.
Right. Right.
So for me, it I'm used to what it means on the side. Basically, you're always trying to. It also depends too. Like if it's if you're in a band or project that it makes sense, for that extended period of time for you to keep doing it, then absolutely.
You're right.
Um, and the band's put in a lot of work over the years, and very thankfully and luckily we have been able to continue to do so. So it, it makes it a little easier to make those sacrifices. And it's like, okay, like I'm gonna go on tour, but it'll be worth it, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable and not having those comforts of home. I mean, obviously, I like those comforts like anyone else, but
Sure.
I I, I don't miss it nearly as much as other people do.
Yeah.
And other people are really, or most people that I know that tour a lot, it becomes a problem. They're like, oh man, I hate being here, or like when people are like, oh, I hate flying. It's like when I'm on an airplane and going somewhere, I don't mind it at all. I usually pass out or watch a
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
Like I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit there.
Yeah.
As long as it's not hot as shit and like the plane is not sketchy, and I'm not sitting next to someone that sucks, then we're good.
Yeah.
Nobody likes being at the airport checking in and like doing any of that crap. Obviously, I don't like that either. But like any day to me that I'm traveling or doing anything that means I'm going to go play a show is like a good day. You
Yeah.
know,
You make the most of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a good day. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I'm doing, and it's like cool. So
Yeah.
I try to not let the small things and the bullshit get to me. You know.
Yeah. Who's had the most influence? I hate to ask the dreaded influence question, but maybe wording it a different way. Who's had the most impact on the way you approach the instrument and you play? I recently watched one of those YouTube reels, and people were commenting, because you're playing at such a frenetic pace, but you look very relaxed back there, very much an economy of movement back there. You know what I mean? Like it seems like less is more with you, getting the job done, but you don't look as frenetic and as crazy as a lot of the guys who do like what you do.
It just depends on your style of playing, really, and like you know, it's funny because people are like, oh, it looks like he's not moving that much or
It
hitting that hard or
does.
anything like
It
that.
does.
But like in my I'm back there and I know how much I'm moving,
You feel it. Right.
and maybe it's because I'm a larger guy. Or I don't know. It could be, that it looks like I'm not doing as much because of how my body's built or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know that anytime we do like a music video, you're supposed to you exaggerate everything to the nth degree.
Right.
So you go watch a video and you see any of the drum footage, it looks like every hit's got like all this motion and
Right. Right.
exaggerated because it's for the visual
Yeah.
effect of it. But if you're playing live, like I'm the drummer, I'm not the front man. I'm not
Right.
in the front row. You know what I mean? Obviously, I do want to provide some sort of excitement. I'm not back there just like, you know, with my prescription glasses on, making sure, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to rock out. But
Yeah.
like with this kind of music, I mean, it's all about trying to put out what's best for the show, for the front of house, for the show itself. So,
Yeah.
um, nothing against people that hit super hard or anything like that, but that's not my thing. You can achieve the same projection of a hit with, it all comes down to your style too, and
Yeah.
how fast you're playing. Um, if you're playing sort of on the faster, more extreme metal music, then like, yeah, you need to be smart about how you're using your energy, obviously.
Right.
Don't
Right.
want to blow your load after the first couple songs, and then you're hitting super soft, and now the sound guy's having to make up for that, and then the sound guy's going to be pissed because your hits are inconsistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
instead of a big, powerful like cymbal hits all the time, which may look cool, he's now having to turn down those overheads because you're just blowing it up.
Right. Right.
So he'd much rather be like adding little effects of the vocals if he needs to, or like a little snare bomb here and there, instead of like, oh, should I? Dave's like smacking the fuck out of that China
Yeah.
right now. I better turn it down because he wasn't doing that
Yeah.
last night.
Right. Right.
So consistency, in my opinion, is more important than anything else, whatever that means. So if you
Yeah.
hit hard as hell every night, just do that every night. You
Yeah.
know,
You're gonna have to keep it up. Yeah. You're gonna have to stay
you
with. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's okay to like, and you get excited on one part, or like, you're in the zone and you felt like hitting some cymbal or snare hit or floor tom extra a little extra hard. It's okay. You
Yeah.
know, just be consistent with it.
So, do you have drum heroes, drum idols, man? Like
Yeah,
people to
totally.
keep it up
Sorry.
to?
Absolutely. I mean it's broken down by kind of like anytime a question similar to that arises, like they're like, "Oh, who's your favorite drummer?" It's like, impossible to answer that, or like,
Right.
"Who's your favorite band?" Impossible.
Yeah.
For me, you have to break it down into like stages of your life, right? And for me, the easiest way to answer that question are the ones that kind of like have always been there no matter what stage of my life I'm in, right? Because
Okay.
there's some that like, okay, maybe during my beginner stage, I was super into, but then later on, it kind of fizzled away. Doesn't mean that they weren't influential, they're a part of that era, right?
Right.
But there's always the ones that have carried on no matter what. I mean, as far as like my particular style of playing, like Flo Munier from Cryptops, he's always been
Yeah.
pioneer, innovator, you know,
No
uh,
question.
like no questions asked, dude. Even way back in the day when I moved to the States and like um discovered cryptopsy around the year 2000, and there's no YouTube, none of this crap, and I was like, how do I find videos of these dudes playing? And I found this record store called Downtown Records, and they had these bootleg VHS tapes that they had. I don't know if they recorded them, if they got them through like trading
Yeah.
VHS tapes or whatever, but they had like, and that was like how I could see him in super shitty quality playing, but open-handed blast beats, and it was just like, this looks sick and aggressive, and it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
him, Raymond Herrera from the Fear Factor. I feel like
Yeah.
never. He's super underrated for a long time. When he was in Fear Factor, obviously, on the radar, he was out there, but ever since he stepped down from what seems to be like drumming and music. Uh, it more compared to than to Fear Factory, but like yeah, like the kick syncopated stuff with Guitar Risk with Fear Factory was like a major one. I mean, there's a lot, all the Death drummers, of course. Um, Richard Christie, massive influence with just like how crazy his cymbal
Yeah.
work and stuff is,
Yeah.
but those are just people that like made a massive impact, and no matter what, like I can still pop in Sound of Perseverance and it's the same effect.
No doubt. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that's just for metal. Obviously, it's more specific about drumming. Um, like just like Simon Phillips, like fusion recording kind of legends.
Yeah.
Big name. I mean, Simon Phillips, Dennis Chambers, the ones that a lot of people know of, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And,
And so
and,
much longer list than that, but these are just more like the ones that just kind of first come up in
and
my mind.
I think people are interested to know, because when I was looking at my Apple Music account and I was going to the bottom of like I just happened to I was listening to Terrasite, and when I get to the bottom of the songs, all you guys are credited as writers on there. I think fans would like to know, man, what is the creative process like? Because you mentioned at the top of the interview that Travis is responsible for a lot of the lyrical writing, man. So what is your role in the creative process with the Cattle
Yeah, I
Decapitation
mean,
songs?
at the end of the day, we all, yes, we all contribute. It's really difficult to say like, because at some point or another, everyone's going to contribute
Sure.
to pretty much every aspect.
Yeah.
And Travis is lyrics untouched. He is the dude. Um, I would never want to try to contribute. I'm just like, no, the dude's like a walking dictionary and stuff. But and it's he's nothing to fuck with there, in my opinion. But musically, yeah, we like to get together organically. We try to write organically as best as we can, based on where everyone lives too, because most of us live in different places.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you see in the credits there that it's written by Cattle Decapitation, that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have more input than others. If there's like a defined sort of vision, like if somebody has like, hey, no, like if you're passionate about a part and it sounds good and it's then you go with that. But everybody steps up in different ways, so it
Yeah.
ends up being equal across the board pretty much, which is pretty rare. If you
Yeah.
ask me,
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's very difficult trying to write with several people. And then, you get to the studio and our producer who has like so much patience with us. He's done like the last 4 records. And because you're passionate about your thing and you want the best, you want to put the best thing out there. You don't
Yeah.
want to settle for anything. I never want to settle for a part that doesn't sound good to me. You just have to have a part that sounds better if you're gonna
Right. Right.
if you're gonna bring it up and it's like, hey, I don't like how this sound, or whatever. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, kind of
Right.
thing. And then it's
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
well, you better have something to replace it with or something. Or hopefully soon. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
And so, do you guys usually tend to write more songs than you need and whittle it down? And how do you decide like what makes the cut? Are the song choices kind of put to like a vote, or like how do you do like if you're gonna put 10 songs on an album, do you come in with more than that?
I mean, that ideally that's what you want to do. Ideally, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to have some, it's not, you don't want to come in with like, all right, it's just 10 songs and you end up recording and like one of them doesn't turn out as good as you thought it would be.
Right.
Then there's other ones you're like, oh man, I thought this was going to be the weakest song, and holy
Yeah.
shit, it turned out great.
Yeah.
It just depends. And that's the other thing is like when you have so many people involved in writing, it's going to yield less.
Right.
It's just going to yield less. But in my opinion, it's much better quality and true to the band than, you know, having 3, 4 songs that maybe somebody wrote most of that, it's just not. I don't know. It depends. Every band's different. We're kind of we're kind of slow when it comes to writing and recording, but that's just what we know works for us. And we're not trying to like break the mold necessarily. We're always down to experiment, obviously, and do what we're write what we're into or feeling. But yeah, it's a tough one, dude. It's a tough one.
How is a great cattle decapitation song usually spawn? Like, what comes first typically in the process? Is it usually born from a riff? Does that typically come first?
Yeah, I mean, it could be born from like all kinds of shit. I mean, a lot of times it's very spontaneous. Like for me, the way my mind works, it's very unpredictable. I could be walking down the street and something comes up, and then I like do a voice recording of it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, dude, check this out. Like, this is a melody line that I had, blah blah blah." But the reason why I prefer, us getting together and writing organically is because it's when we're spontaneous that the best things come up, and that's just all based on how at least my brain works.
Yeah.
We'll be playing something and I hear something that was completely unintentional, but that did it for me. For some reason, that triggered the gears to get moving.
Yeah.
For me, at least. Other guys maybe they have a different way of writing. They show up with like, here's a whole part or like a whole section.
Right.
Um, but that never worked for me. Sure, it just depends, and that's why it turns out to be kind of slow. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like holy shit, like how do you make this work? But yeah, it could be that. Or yeah, like somebody listening, hearing something that somebody was doing, it's like, oh shit, that's cool. Or somebody going like, hey, I have this riff. And
Right.
then, and then we just go from there.
And when something new does come out from you guys, does anybody in the band, or maybe you yourself, are you big on looking at what feedback and criticism or what fans are saying? Like, will you go on and peruse comments and see what the new reaction or what the reaction is to new cattle decapitation when you put something out?
That's tricky, man, because people love to hate more than anything
They
else.
sure do. Yeah.
And you know, I feel like we've been pretty lucky and fortunate that with every release that we've put out lately, that they've been very well received.
Yes.
And with that comes a lot of pressure because I feel it's like people are, I don't know, like waiting for, you know, to like I said, haters love to hate. So I honestly don't care as long as, I mean, I do care. I want people to like what we're putting out, obviously, so we can go out and tour and keep doing this. But
Right.
um, at the end of the day, I feel like we trust our gut as far musically when we put stuff out to where it keeps us trying to withhold a certain standard. Um, but yeah, I mean, I try not to fall in that wormhole, but like it's impossible not to.
It's
Like
hard. Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, why would you go check the comments? It's the worst thing you can do," or this and
Yeah.
that. It's like, well,
Yeah.
you're putting out a product, you're putting yourself out in this world, and you need to know what people are responding to. So
Right. Sure.
yes,
Yeah. The
it
people.
sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall in that wormhole, but like you have to. You kind of have
Right. The
to.
people. Right. In a way, the people are a barometer, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, you do got to keep. I mean,
They
you do
are.
have to see what they're
They
saying.
are, but yeah, and you have to like give it time too. Like I remember when Death Atlas came out, it was like very well liked, but also more criticized, in my opinion, than other records. But it was kind of a slow burner for them too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it came out, and then and I've spoken to other people that do reviews and stuff like that, and they're like, hey, at first I wasn't like that crazy on this record, but like I had time to digest it, da da
Yeah.
da. It was a late bloomer for them. And I've had records like that of
Sure.
like or friends tell me like, dude, check out this band, check out this record. And it didn't like it didn't do the thing for me right off the bat that I
Right.
expected. I'm like, oh,
Right.
it's okay, and they're like, no, dude, you have to like you gotta listen to it, give it a time. I'm like, okay. And then like
Yeah.
I'll like won't have any music to listen to or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this thing another chance. And then I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I slept on,
Yeah.
or not, or not.
Yeah.
So that's just music, art, I suppose,
You think
same
maybe
thing
that
with
is
movies.
you think maybe that's a little symptomatic to the times that we're in though, and the fact that people's attention spans have changed and they're consuming music differently though, and maybe they want to be blown away and wowed or they're on to the next thing, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing though, just like it depends on what kind of listener you are
Yeah.
and what are you trying to get from something because I'm not looking, I mean, I'm 42 years old, so like we didn't
Yeah.
grow up with that, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm
I,
53.
I
Yeah, I get that
you
too.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I get it. I can usually tell pretty quickly if I'm gonna like something or not, but I'm not
Right.
trying to like, and we're certainly not trying to compete with anything like that, you know. It sucks because within the industry, that's what they want because that's the new thing now, you know.
Yeah.
But we're trying our best to keep our to keep with the times, obviously, because you have to in some ways, but to also not like change our shit for a quick 3-second clip, 4-second clip. Like
Right.
it's not the thing for us.
Yeah. Well, you brought up album reviews earlier, and one of the things, and I brought this up on here before, one of the things that I see, and again, maybe this speaks to where we are in terms of attention spans and how people are listening to music nowadays. One thing I am seeing a lot more in album reviews is how many songs appear on an album and the length that the albums are coming in at. It seems like
Hmm.
that's a big sticking point now with reviewers. Do you guys sit around as a band and talk about how many songs, how many minutes does this album have to come in at? Like Terrace Site, I'm looking was 10 songs, a little over 52 minutes. Do you guys have conversations about that?
Yes, absolutely. Like length of record, packaging, and all those things
Yeah,
are super important. And like how's it gonna turn out when it comes out on LP, depending on
yeah,
how long it is. We want to put out solid, good, you know, and once you put this out, it's out for the rest of eternity. You know what I mean?
right,
So,
right.
we like to put out something. We all welcome from the generation of physical copies,
Yeah,
and reading the lyrics, the liner notes, all that stuff that I loved doing, that we all loved doing. There's a little bit of disagreements and differences of views and some of those things, but pretty minor. So yeah, we do spend a lot of time on that. Travis is really the one that leads when it comes to all that, working with the label, putting all that stuff together,
yeah,
because he'll have a vision of like the layout and how things are supposed to look and all that. And so so yeah, we definitely like to spend our time with that.
not to mention, you guys
Absolutely.
have had some pretty tasty album covers that have come under scrutiny as well, which I love, by the way. I mean, you talk about
Yeah,
album artwork.
yeah, absolutely, man. But I wouldn't say that. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I answered that question. Yeah, we definitely do go like, hey, so it seems like the sweet spot for us has been the 50 to 55 minute range.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think we'll be putting something out that's going to be anything less than that. And if it is, it won't be by much,
right,
I
right.
don't think if we put out a 45-minute record, people are going to be like, oh shit, it got five
Yeah,
less minutes.
yeah,
It depends on your style of band. There's records that are 30 minutes long that I think are fantastic.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, I don't know if I could, this is great. Like,
yeah,
boom, to the point, because that's what that band is. If it's
yeah.
a conceptual, like atmospheric ambient black metal band, and the record's an hour and a half, it's like, well, because it's different. It's
Right.
a
That's
zone,
what it's supposed to be. Yeah, yeah, that's what it's
so
supposed to be. And so are you, and forgive me for not having this in front of me. Obviously, you've got your gig in CATTLE Decapitation, but are you a guy that is in various musical projects, or do you like to have all your eggs in one basket and be focused on one singular project? Like I have guys on here, and I'm amazed by them. 4 or 5 different bands. I admire them. I applaud their energy, how they find the time. It's
yeah.
amazing. What kind of a work rate do you enjoy as an artist?
Shit, man. I mean, I've always wanted to be doing some other stuff, just because I don't want to. I feel like I've been put sort of in this mold of or box of what kind of type of drummer I am. you
Yeah.
know, when I play and listen to all kinds of other stuff too that I'm just as passionate about. But no, but with cattle, I mean it does require all of my time and
Yeah.
plus doing other things with your life too. Like I music, that's obviously like that's sort of like that's what I am, but I don't want it to dictate everything in my life either. Like
Right.
I try
Right.
to do other things so that way I can remain passionate about music. That's just me though. Other people are like, I'm in 4 bands, I produce, I record, I put YouTube videos out. Fantastic, dude. If you can like manage to do that and stay passionate and it's working out for you,
Yeah.
I'm straight up like super stoked for you and also a little jealous, but in a good way.
Right.
Because
Right.
I wish I could be that way too. But
Yeah.
from early on, when people be like, "Hey, why don't you do YouTube videos or covers and stuff?" I'm like, it's not me, man. It's
Yeah.
not me. Like this is not what I got into doing this for. I didn't get into this or start playing drums or wanting to be in a band so I could just, you know, put out content like how people say now. But maybe that's a passion that other people have too. No judgment.
Right. Right.
So for me, it's just yeah. As far as this level of involvement with a band, yeah, Cattle would be the only one. But I definitely would like to have a side project or something. Just do something else.
Yeah.
If the time allows.
I've touched on the fact that we're listening to music differently nowadays. It seems like for Cattle Decapitation, though, an LP will always be the route that you guys go. EPs,
Hmm.
singles, that's not you guys' lane, really. Even though even though some of the trends have changed, you guys seem to be an LP oriented band.
Yeah. Yeah. EPs came back hard. And just releasing singles.
Yeah.
Just one song every 3 months, and that's all you get. And
Yeah.
then there's just like 10 singles over the course of I don't know how many years. It's worked really good for some bands.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
um a thing for us. I mean,
Well, you guys always have something to convey, though. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like the right format for
yeah,
you guys.
and it's probably not beneficial for us to keep going that route because especially nowadays and you know retaining the attention of people.
Yeah.
It's like if we put out one record, it's like boom, put out the record, you get your like 10-15 minutes of attention,
Yep.
and that's that as far as like streaming and people going and listening to the record.
Right.
Doesn't mean that, I mean, obviously we would be on a cycle, videos are coming out, et cetera, et cetera. But what labels want to see a lot nowadays is constant engagement,
Right. Right.
right? Constant engagement. So you're putting out a single and it has almost the same effect as putting out a record. Maybe not as impactful, but you're keeping that stickiness, right? It's like
Yeah.
they're coming back, they're listening, they're coming back, and that'll make them listen to maybe other things. If it's a new listener, oh, cool. I've heard of this band. I've never actually listened to them. I like their single. Now I'm going to check out their other songs. It
Right.
makes total sense.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I'm against that necessarily. It's just yeah, with an EP, not against that either, but everything that we do is so like conceptual and like hot and heavy kind of coming in
Right. Right.
that's like we almost don't know how to do that. It's like, do we go and cut an EP along with an LP, and then sort of I don't know, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know, but it's a good and a bad thing. It goes back to the writing and the recording. Some bands are able to like whip up songs a lot faster, so
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
go, you know. Or if there's just like one songwriter in the band who happens to also produce them, and they can
Yeah.
put out really quality shit, then they're like, oh yeah, like boom, here we go, and they just. We're not that type of band. We're still very kind of old school in that way. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now
yeah.
you've been in the band, if correct me if I'm wrong, since 2007. So you're coming up on a full almost 2 decades in this band.
Mhm.
And amazing albums, during your time in the band. Is there one specific maybe album or time period or or portion of your time in Cattle Decapitation where you would look at and say, here's my creative high point. Here's where I really feel like, I was firing on all cylinders. And obviously you guys are getting better as a band. Your chops get better. You're still putting out amazing albums. But do you feel like there's been a point in time like where you would look back at right now where you are now and say, man, I'm proud of that moment, that album, that time period?
I feel like I have those moments with. I'm having more of those moments as of later on because of all the experience and the mistakes from the past. So now, like,
learning from them.
I'm happy that I'm having more of those moments now. But I feel like I can look back and at every record and have a like, oh, like a no moment that's good.
Okay.
But I feel like we're much more of a developed band in every way, like with our the last couple records are my favorite songwriting wise, production wise, performance wise, and all that. I'm not trying to be the fastest. I'm not trying to do the most blasts or trying to better have a blast being in every song. Like, nah, it's like just write the song. You know what I mean? Write the song. It's death metal. There will be all those elements will be there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Some people are like,
are.
we need like a certain amount of blast beats per song. It's like, no, like write the song, focus on the song. Like we have, let's see, I don't know how many other records before this to have anything you want. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I always found that interesting because people are like, they start comparing a record to another record. It's like, well, that record that's that record. So if you want to go and listen, if you want that record, guess what? You have it.
It's there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can go and listen to it. I mean, and we wish that, put out another one just like that. Or like when you watch a show and you're like, oh man, I wish season 2 was like season 1.
Right.
Maybe that's a little bit different because actually that's not a good comparison because that's completely different. But the way I look at it personally, nah, I mean, obviously we have an essence and a thing that we're trying to do. We're not trying to turn into a different band, obviously, but for me, I'm happier now with what
You guys do have
what we're doing.
a consistent theme and message in your music that you guys always convey, but yet the albums do sound fresh and different every single time, though. In their own unique way. Is that important to you guys? Obviously, getting the
super important.
Super important to you guys.
I mean, to me, it is important, but
because as an artist, it always seems like you're doomed. Because again, getting back to album reviews, and I don't know how much stock you put in them. I mean, I read them.
To me, it depends. It depends on who's doing the review and what qualifies them to do the review.
Right. Oftentimes, though, you do see albums get like, these guys. Every album sounds the same, but then when you stay consistent, though, you mean like, where's that line between consistency or developing and changing as a band?
It depends. Right. So it depends on the agenda of the person doing it,
right?
Because I've read reviews like on magazines. It's like we're gonna have this dude that does black metal reviews. We're gonna have him do a review on a power metal band. It's like,
right.
What do you think it's gonna? How do you think that's gonna turn out?
Not his lane. Yeah.
Or, hey, let's give the new Cattle record review to this dude that has always hated the band or is on the fence about them.
Yeah.
And I understand, and I think I know why they're doing that.
Yeah.
So that way, the reader, they're going, or whether it's online or on paper, it creates. It's kind of like clickbait almost in a way. I think.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, dude, this is bullshit. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But will it make you go back and read it or make you go click next time? I don't know.
Right.
But that just depends on what kind of person you are. I think if I read a review, I just want it to be unbiased. Hopefully, and that's hard. That's fucking hard, but maybe just, because dude, I've seen reviews that get done online by people that don't even listen to metal, and I'm just like I'm down. I do like seeing people that maybe don't know so much about it or are familiar enough to where they can do something close as unbiased. Because I guess there's no such thing as unbiased, really, when it comes to reviews. There really isn't.
Right.
But it's it's almost like, I don't know, it's like jazz, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It's so like specific, like growls, double kicks. Like it's a weird style of music, really, that
Yeah.
unless your ears trained and familiar enough with it, like you have no business really reviewing it. But yeah, I try not to trip on that kind of shit too much. Again, the reviews we've gone for the last handful of records have always been like great, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So then it's always like, the record comes out and it's like, okay, let's see. What did
Yeah.
we get? You know?
Can we find any bad ones?
And then you're reading on there and you're like, all right, well, yeah, I guess so. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. But you just can't let it get to you too much.
And so I would be, well, first of all, I want to ask you about your own listening trends. When you're in the car or you're puttering around the house and you're listening to music from a fan standpoint, you mentioned being in your 40s, I'm in my 50s. Are you able to find new music that excites you, or are you the kind of guy that kind of falls back on your old favorites?
I like discovering for sure. I love finding new music. I'm all about fucking keeping this shit going. I feel like there's a lot of great bands that have come out. So I like checking that out, and it's usually like, oh man, this is sick, but I never go back to it that much.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
go back to the stuff that is tried and true for me, organically.
Yeah.
And I like so much music too that it's like, dude, I could not listen to anything new and still be more than content and happy with all the
Yeah.
music I've discovered
Yeah.
up until this point, which is there's so much out there. And there's so much that I haven't even discovered yet. I still have people showing like, oh, you haven't heard this band from like night whatever, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How did I not?
Yeah.
How did and then you're just like obsessed with it,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's getting you through whatever bullshit you're going through. But the stuff that like really like ultra meaningful, or that you need to get through whatever you're going in life, that kind of stuff, it's always pretty much remain the same.
Yeah.
Records that I've listened to 20 or 25 years, that invoke those sort of like, feelings or sentiments, or, whatever it is. That's what I use music for, at least. Many different functions for it.
Yeah. I find sometimes, man, that I'll go online and I'll say, and I'll put in a Google search, newer thrash bands or newer death metal bands, and then it'll suggest bands, and I'll look, and they've been out for 20, 25 years, so they're not really new.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. I mean, or like recommended for you, like
Yeah.
based on what you're listening to, and it'll be like Morbid Angel. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, fuck yeah, recommend me some Morbid Angel. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's cool though,
Yeah.
like, because
Yeah.
the machine doesn't know, it just sees, and this is based on like the algorithmic thing, because
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
and I used to have a problem with all that shit back in the day, but now I think it's why metal is so big.
Yeah.
I think industry right now, the industry for metal is bigger than it's ever been. Anyone could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Same with hardcore, dude, and like, or any type of like, harder style music, dude. Like
Yeah.
hardcore bands playing in talk shows, dude. Like,
I know.
I mean,
I know.
Faith No More and Slipknot back in the day, and like maybe Metallica would have been the equivalent. Probably were, but there's bands that are coming out that are just super hard, and it's like, fuck, man, you guys are. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
super cool, man. And if it's getting people into like harder music and like getting out there, and more importantly, regardless of the style of music, it's getting people exposed to shit, and they're coming out to shows, and it's allowing for everything to keep going.
Yep.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day. So
Yeah.
just come out to the show. That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Be a good fan. Yeah, be a good fan. And so I would be remiss. Don't want to get beat up in the comment section. Parasite came out in 2023. I don't want to not ask the question of when we could possibly expect new Cattle Decapitation music.
Yeah, I mean, um, we're working on it.
Yep.
We've been in writing mode for a little while now. I can't really I don't know what I can and cannot say without getting in trouble.
Understood.
So I would just say, within the relatively near future, without it being like some crazy number. just
Should we expect?
look.
Is it realistic to say maybe expect something in 2026?
I would say so. I would
Okay.
say so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. We
absolutely.
won't
Or
hold you
just
to it.
look at
We
the
won't hold you
pattern.
to
Yeah,
it.
or just look at the pattern of releases.
Yeah.
That a lot of
Yeah.
times that helps a lot because there is a pattern. And we were trying to get better at not having so much time in between records, but that just comes down to how we write, and that's all there is to it. I mean, we take long, we take long, we take long to write, and that's just how it is. So
But but there did used to be a formula though, and I remember this even back in the day. Your favorite band would put out an album, and they would tour behind it, and it would be 2 or 3 years in between albums. I
mhm.
think that's always been a pretty normal cycle.
Yeah, it just more so now. It's just that now with like how we were talking about earlier with the constant
Yeah, people are being.
churning,
Yeah, I think people are
and
afraid of
there's
being forgotten about. They're afraid of being forgotten about and being
they
just
are,
immediately.
man. They are. People are
Yeah,
afraid of not being relevant. And it's
yeah,
like, and this is all because of what social media has turned the world into.
yep,
And it's like, look, man, I feel like it depends. Like if you're a new band that's coming out and you haven't really, you know, sounds fucking cheap, but like made your mark or like have a trajectory or sort of like, hey, you know, um, it's different when you're a new band or a band that has a trail of records behind them that has been touring. And I'm not saying my band, I'm talking any band really,
right,
that
right.
that does this professionally to a certain level. Um, I don't think relevancy means the same in that way because I don't know. Look at I look at Guar, man. Guar, like, they're not fucking staying relevant, dude. In my opinion, not trying to offend the band whatsoever. We
Yeah,
tour with them,
yeah,
fantastic. I don't mean it that way. What I'm saying is they have a built-in fan base. Like,
right.
Guar fans love Guar. They will go see Guar. If they're coming into their town, they're gonna go.
Oh yeah,
Whether or not they've put out a record, whether or not they've put out a new video or a new post. And that's obviously also a very niche kind of band. But what I've seen is that, if you're putting out something that I guess creates that sort of fan base, that they're gonna come out and support, then that's more important to me than trying to remain relevant, and compete with like new bands that are like super tech savvy and social media savvy and like
yeah,
have a new post coming out twice a day right at the right time, geolocation specific,
yep,
with a video attached, with like, it's hard to keep up with that shit, honestly, and put out really good stuff at the same time, if you
yeah,
ask me.
yeah,
Like, unless you have a huge team behind you that's doing all that for you so that way you can focus on like writing or, hey, we're playing a show tonight. It's a lot of work, dude. Like,
sure.
we last couple tours have been the first time in our lives that we've taken out a media person, someone that's there to just take photos,
Yep,
work on the social media stuff, which is important in my opinion when you're on tour,
it
because
is.
you got to remind people, hey, we're coming out. Like,
We're out here. Yeah,
you know what I mean? You see a tour announcement, you're like, oh shit, they're coming in a week, sick. And then
yeah,
you're working or fucking doing life, your shit got fucked up, and you're like, oh fuck, the show's tonight. God damn it, I can't go, I forgot. So you gotta like always be, it's more for that, to remind
yeah,
people, especially with
yeah.
so much shit coming at everyone all the time.
Yep, yep. Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, yeah. You almost got to be
It's
your
more
own self.
it's more of a yeah. So I guess I don't know, maybe it's not so much relevancy, it's more of like, um we don't want to get lost in the mix of all this shit fucking coming at you all the time.
Yeah,
So I guess that's what relevancy means. I don't know, but
yeah. In this day and age, it does.
yeah, dude. So, but I get it, and as per what I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's allowing bands to be a lot more people to go out and do this, and
Yeah, keeping
so
metal alive. Yeah,
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 dude.
yeah.
And what you're doing, I mean, like,
Yeah,
this is this wasn't much of a thing back then either. So like,
you're
I'm
right.
super grateful. I'm
Yeah,
grateful that you know have the time, and so I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. And so before I let you out of here, man, where's the best place to tap in with you guys on social media? We are talking about social media, best place where people want to keep up with what you got going on, what the band's got going on. I'm assuming a band as big as Cattle probably has their own website, but Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know that TikTok's like the thing, but we've always been more of a Instagram heavy
Yeah,
band. We post a lot more there. I think overall we just like the platform better.
yeah,
Facebook also, a lot of people are like, I don't get it when people are like, oh, Facebook is XYZ or blah blah blah. I'm like, you can call me an old man if you want, but
yeah.
that's where I
I like it.
keep up. I
Yeah.
mean, I have Facebook and Instagram, and
Me too.
that's Instagram. I would say though is absolutely
Yeah.
where all the stuff goes. Maybe TikTok too. I haven't really checked that, but that's yeah. And obviously the website has all the information, but who does that?
Yeah, right. I think websites are still pretty important, though, man. Right? I mean, like
It
shit, man.
is.
If a band
No,
goes
you
on,
have to have it.
if a band goes on and gets the .com, and you can be cattledecapitation.com, why the fuck not? Grab it, right? I mean,
Yeah. No. I mean, we have totally. I mean, everything leads to the website anyway.
right,
You know what
right.
I mean? So like, uh, if you're just trying to see what's going on, yeah, of course, like Instagram or Facebook, whatever, but it all leads to the website. That's where I think you can do just about anything.
Yeah.
So
And so, what do you guys got coming up early 2026 and the start of this new year, man? Some more shows, some more getting out there and playing.
yeah, we have a couple things that we have something that we're working on right now.
Okay.
And but priority number one is continue to write. So
Yeah.
there may be there's we have a couple festivals that we announced. And there is a slight possibility of doing something around that time. Again, I can't really say much.
Yep.
But
Stay
no
tuned.
matter what, we're just in writing mode, so that way we can, put out a new record since it's been a couple years already.
That keeps the fans the most excited, right there. Yeah, the prospect
Yeah.
of new music. Yeah, that's always
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully after that, we can maybe we'll go down the EP route. We'll see.
yeah. Continuing world dominance. That's all, man. You guys are really one of the preeminent death metal bands out there right now, man. Really, man. Flying the flag, man. I appreciate you, man.
I know. We're just trying to do our thing, and I know a lot of people say this all the time, but like it really, it's all about people that listen to music and support the shit.
Yeah.
Them coming out, buying a shirt, whatever you do, that's what keeps all of this happening.
No doubt. I use that
Yeah,
caveat
so
at the end of all of
massive
these, man.
thanks.
Yeah. I always
Yeah,
put that
massive
caveat
thanks.
in there about going in and being a good fan, man, getting out to live shows, buying merchandise, you know what I mean? Going to the website, getting on mailing lists, checking out newsletters, whatever's available, man, and just tapping
Yeah.
in and being a good fan, man. You guys out there
Or just experience live music, man.
yeah.
Like it's you're not going to shows, you're really like you're missing like one of the best experiences in life, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's very communal, especially in the metal community. It is a great
Yeah,
community.
but just like, fucking, especially you have a great sound guy. It's
Yeah.
a physical, and emotional experience. Like,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
go to, you're having a rough day, go to a show, man.
Yeah, right. Get out some aggression, man, and go out there and fucking rock out. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's cathartic.
Yeah,
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
Listen,
I
man, I
agree.
appreciate you doing this, man. It was really a pleasure meeting you. Stay in touch, man. Well, I'd love to have you back on. It was a lot of fun chopping it up with you, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I look forward to doing it again if the invitation's open.
Always.
It'd be an honor, man. So
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Good talking to you,
Yeah.
my friend. Later, brother.
Take care. Bye.
And there he goes, folks. David McGraw, the guy pounding the skins behind the drum kit for Cattle Decapitation. And I said it on the episode, and I really do mean it, man. Really one of the preeminent death metal bands. Not just a death metal band, a band with a great message, man. A great eye on things that are going on in society and in the world. They've got views, they've got opinions, and that is reflected in the music, man. They really have something to say. I'm not going to espouse their message for them. Go interpret it for yourself. Listen to the music. I think what they're trying to convey is certainly out there. You can certainly do your own search, but they really are a band that is flying the flag for death metal, and a band that really, really is conveying something in their music and in their lyrics, man. And I love that at the end of the day, man. Not just the band that's out there playing music, man, but that is actually out there conveying their morals, their values, what they feel about the world is being reflected in their music, man. There's a raw honesty to what they do, man, and I hope people tap into that, man. I know they've got fans all over the globe that really love them. I hope they will appreciate and enjoy this conversation that I just had the privilege of having with David. And do yourself a favor and get tapped into Cattle Decapitation if you are a metal fan. But as I said in the interview, their last album, Terrasite, came out in 2023. And as David said, expect new music from them. They are in the writing process right now. He didn't rule out 2026 as possible a possible date for new music. Didn't specify when, but hopefully in 2026, early 2027, we get new music from Cattle Decapitation. In the meantime, they've got an incredible discography of past albums that you can go sink your teeth into and feast your ears on. And I would suggest you do that. So again, thank you so much, David McGraw, for coming on here, man. Really enjoyed the conversation, man. And go check out. I think I already even gave my little caveat that I usually do in the midst of our interview, but I'll give it to you again. Go out and be a good fan. These bands are out there grinding and hustling, and they are not making Taylor Swift type money. Believe me, these are guys out there doing it for the love of the sport. They are out there sweating it up in these little clubs, man, grinding and hustling up and down the road in vans and tour buses if they're lucky. They're out there pounding the pavement, man, bringing us the rock and the metal. So go to the websites, as I said, get on a mailing list, sign up for a newsletter, go buy some merchandise, get out to a live show, go buy the physical product, vinyl, if that's your thing. Go stream the album, man. Just go be about it, man. Be a good fan and fly the flag for heavy metal, man, the way these bands do. Be a good fan, man, and get the fuck out there and be supportive. So I gave you guys the obligatory promotional spiel. I'll run it down for y'all one more time. Make sure to tap into PodScum on Facebook. Our handle is Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. 2 shows, 1 Facebook page. If you're into the boxing, we got you covered with Off the Couch Boxing. If you're a fan of the pugilism, combat sports, yada, yada. If you're a fan of rock, music, metal, we got you covered here on PodScum. You can tap in and check out information on both shows on that Facebook page. Same handle on Instagram, Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. And if you're watching us here, please like, please subscribe, and please hit that notification bell to stay tapped in so you're in the know when those new episodes drop, man. Again, want to thank my viewers, want to thank my subscribers, and of course, at the end of the day, I want to thank my guests, always generous with their time, and it is really an absolute honor for me to have these opportunities, to have these incredible conversations like I just had with today's guest, who I'd like to thank one more time, David McGraw from Cattle Decapitation. And this is your boy, Reckless Rexx, reminding you, until we get together and we do this again, and it will be soon. As I said earlier, and I want to just mention this one more time, it is, at the time of this recording, Monday, December 29th. Things might slow down a bit. I've got to go out of the country here at the beginning of January. That, coupled with the fact that we're in that holiday season, that window of Christmas and New Year, people are spending time with family, friends. We might slow down a little bit in terms of new content, but the good news is we've got 360 plus episodes, back episodes of PodScum, and 300 back episodes of Off the Couch Boxing. So we got a lot of back content there for you to sink your teeth into. There's literally something there for everybody. But just want to give you guys a heads up that things might slow down a bit here in the next couple weeks. Might be a bit of a hiatus in terms of brand new episodes, but we are firing it back up. Got a lot of surprises in store, a lot of great episodes coming your way here in the new year of 2026. We're going to dial it up, man, a notch and keep bringing you kick-ass content, man. That you can rest assured of, man. And until we get together and we do this again, this is your boy, Reckless Rexx, reminding you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.